This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. Would you like more fun and ham radio? Well, tune into the Thursday Night Riddles Net at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the South 40 Net on the Chillicothe repeater on 146.850 with a PL tone of 74.4. Or connect your All-Star node to node number 669400. And riddle-de-dee, riddle-de-dum, away on the air. The Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, in conjunction with the Westchester Amateur Radio Club, has announced expanded museum hours for the Dayton Hamvention 2026. They will be open on Thursday, May 14th, Friday, May 15th, and Saturday, May 16th from noon to 9 p.m. And then again on Sunday, May 17th from noon to 5 p.m. If you are interested in radio, history, or broadcasting, I highly recommend you visiting the museum. It's just a short drive south of the Hamvention, and it's a great piece of radio history and the home of the Westchester Amateur Radio Club station. Check it out. For more information, go to voamuseum.org. The Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association is looking for amateur radio operator volunteers to assist in one of the most exciting events of the year, the 2026 McCreary Gravel Rally, which will be held on April 25th at Stearns, Kentucky. Ham radio plays a very important part in helping get communications into the valleys and hollers that make up the rally race course. Check out previous year's races for the Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association videos on the Elcara YouTube channel. If you want to sign up for the event, go to NASARALLYSPORT.com/main/account. For more information, contact Mike, KY6MM at KY6MM@ARRL.net. Dennis Lutz, W2QN, the Kentucky Section Emergency Coordinator, has announced that Luke Schwartz, KR4KOS, will be coordinating an effort to rebuild and rebrand a unified communication channel for the official Kentucky Aries, including website, Facebook, and Discord platform. As part of this effort is launching an updated website, KYARES.org. This initiative is focused on improving communications, accessibility, and consistency across all districts to better support the mission statewide. They're also working on setting up the Kentucky Aries All-Star node number 623125, which will also have Echolink access. Check it out. With the usual spring weather, it's important for all amateurs to be weather aware. And a nice addition to help keep up with the weather happenings when things get dicey is the Kentucky Severe Storm Weather Net. It's held on XLX 721 Alpha Multi-Mode Communications Network. The net is now held every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This gives you a chance to check in and make sure your equipment is working so that when the storm hits, you'll be ready. There are multiple ways to connect to this multi-mode communications network. If you have one of the M1KE devices, just connect it to XLX 721 Alpha. If you got a DMR rig, connect your hotspot or connect the repeater to Brandmeister Talk Group 3121232. For your C4 FM Yaesu radios, connect your hotspot to YSF Reflector 51149. There are two ways to connect to the network by D-Star. Either connect to DCS 721 Alpha or connect to REF 56 Alpha. For Echolink, connect to KY4RW-L. This allows everyone to communicate with each other regardless of the mode that you're using, and you can hear everyone regardless of the mode they're on. It's a really neat system, and it's up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for Echolink, which is only active for the net. So check it out anytime. And thanks to Ray, KY4RW, and Larry, NN4H, for this neat system. Nominations for this year's Kentucky Amateur of the Year Award are open. The deadline for your candidate's entry is Friday, August 14, 2026. When submitting the ham you wish to nominate, keep the following in mind. A radio amateur is considerate, loyal, progressive, friendly, balanced, and patriotic. For more information and where to send your candidate application, see the Kentucky Amateur of the Year page on the LouisvilleHamFest.com website. The Flying Pig is May 1st through the 3rd, and Steve, NATFD, is looking for amateur radio volunteers to assist with the race administration and communications. If you can help out, reach out to Steve, NATFD, at fuse.net. In celebration of the 250th anniversary of the country, the ARRL has kicked off the America 250 Worked All States operating event. Each state will have 2 weeks of using W1AW call with their call sign district. This week from April 8th to April 14th is Washington W1AW/7, Missouri W1AW/0, and New Mexico W1AW/5. Next week from April 15th through the 21st is Delaware W1AW/3, Idaho W1AW/7. For more information on this event, go to ARRL.org/America250-WAS. On April 11th at 9 a.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will have their breakfast get-together at Bob Evans on Dream Street in Florence, Kentucky. Come on out and join them for a ham radio breakfast. The Brunch Bunch will be meeting on April 11th at 1 p.m. at Jim and Jack's, 3456 River Road in Cincinnati, Ohio. Come on out for a great brunch and ham radio discussions. On April 20th at 7 p.m. is the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club meeting at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. Everyone is invited, especially if you're interested in learning all about everything you ever wanted to know about Field Day, but were afraid to ask. This presentation by Mark, AI4BJ, will provide you with all the information you ever wanted to know about working Field Day and what the NKARC is trying to do with this year's Field Day 2026. So come on out and learn all about what this Field Day event is all about. On Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m., there'll be a National Weather Service Weather Spotter Training Class at the Grove of Springfield Township, 9150 Winton Road in Cincinnati, Ohio. Behind the fire station, registration is open at 5:30 p.m. The Ohio NVIS Day is April 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. This uses special antenna configurations to exercise near vertical incident skywave propagation, a way to communicate further than VHF and UHF, but remain regional instead of global. A method for emergency and other communications to, say, Indianapolis or Columbus, using HF frequencies while avoiding international traffic. Many local ham radio clubs will have special activities for this event. For more information on the event, go to ARRL-ohio.org/NVIS. Queen City Emergency Net will operate in the Ohio NVIS event on April 25th from about 9:30 a.m. to set up until mid-afternoon. They invite anyone interested in NVIS communications to come out to the W8VND site in Finneytown, Ohio. They plan to have several NVIS antennas set up with rigs to operate. They also encourage you to bring your own rig or NVIS antenna out to the event if you would like to test it out. For more information, contact M. Rhodes, N8MCR, at 513-238-8638.
Repeater News.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Hamfest.
April 11th is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club 70th Hamfest at the Media Open Sons Expo Center, 48 East Bath Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. For more information, go to cfarc-hamfest.org. April 25th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club 2026 Hamfest Computer and Electronics Show at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. For more information, go to w8zx.net/Hamfest. April 26th is the Athens, Ohio Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. For more information, go to ac-ara.org. May 2nd is the Lucas County Amateur Radio Emergency Service Hamfest from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Merchants Landing Bingo Hall, 6182 Summit Street in Toledo, Ohio. The granddaddy of all Hamfests, the Dayton Hamvention, will be held May 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Greene County Fair and Expo Center, 210 Fairground Road in Xenia, Ohio. For more information, go to hamvention.org. August 1st from 8 a.m. to noon is the Letcher County Amateur Radio Club Hamfest at the Mountain Shrine Club, 95 Maryland Drive in Whitesburg, Kentucky. They got lots of door prizes. The 2026 Cincinnati Hamfest and ARRL Great Lakes Division Convention will be held on Saturday, August 15th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Claremont County Fairgrounds, 1000 Locust Street in Owensville, Ohio. Greater Louisville Hamfest will be on September 12th from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Parquet Springs Conference Center, 395 Parquet Springs Drive in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, just off I-65 at exit 117. A number of interesting forums have already been scheduled and some really neat door prizes. For more information, go to LouisvilleHamfest.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On April 11th at 10 a.m., there'll be a W5YI amateur radio testing session at the Christview Christian Church, 3130 Boonesboro Road in Winchester, Kentucky, adjacent to the GRC High School. Please pre-register at hamstudy.org/session/AC4YD. For more information, contact AC4YD at ac4yd@awrl.net. On April 18th at 9 a.m., the KB4KY Radio Club is offering amateur radio license testing at the Bardstown, Kentucky Bingo Hall. You must pre-register by emailing Paul, NC9W, at paul.kiener@gmail.com. On April 20th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by going to hamstudy.org/sessions/NKY-VE. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: KE8BBC, KY4ROD, AC4HI, KD9EYU, WB8VNH, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.